there, and welcome inside our Inside College Football studios in New York City. Brent Stover alongside former Ohio State legend Cardale Jones, former Florida Gator legend, Super Bowl champ Kevin Carter. You know, we just had the first week of the CFP rankings, and this is a look at how those top 12 teams did. Obviously, you look at the top, Oregon and Ohio State taking care of business. The two big losses are right there at Georgia 3, Miami at 4. Of course, Miami loses to Georgia Tech. Georgia loses to number 16, Ole Miss. Boise State down here takes care of business. Alabama gets a blowout win in Baton Rouge. So I'd just be curious to kind of open up the discussion first to you, Kevin. What sort of changes do you see coming this Tuesday when the rankings come out, or any surprises or ideas you have going forward here after what we saw this weekend?
No, I think this is very much planned. I think the College Football Playoff Committee does a great job of setting up the dominoes, so to speak, based upon the remaining games in the schedule that these teams have to play. So, for instance, you see Georgia and Ohio State, Georgia and Miami, rather, had two pivotal games today, and they lost. So, automatically, I would like to see the entire field move up 2 spaces, right? Because that's just fair right now, because if no one lost and nothing happened, those teams simply move up. But what we're not seeing is the teams that are just first out, okay? You got SMU, you got A&M, you got Ole Miss, you got LSU, right, yep. Right? So LSU lost, A&M had a bye, right? So you have to think that being Ole Miss, beating the number 3 team in the country, they're going to move up into the top 12. Something's going to happen there with that dynamic. A&M had a bye. Maybe they fall, or maybe they stay just out on the outside looking in. Maybe SMU gets into this top mix, being that Miami, the top team in the ACC, lost.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think it puts things in perspective for my dark horses that get in that top 12 with Ole Miss. And rightfully so, as you see the number 3 and number 4 loses, number 5 and number 6 took care of business today. So they're going to bump in that top 4 potentially. The great part about all this when it comes to this point of the season, heading into our second college football ranking, playoff ranking, is the top 6 to 8 is really going to be some formula, some way, somehow of these teams right here. Yeah. It's going to be that way. The interesting part is 9 through 12 as things continue to shape out with teams like BYU and the Big 12. I don't know if that conference is going to be strong enough to have 2 teams that recognize that's going to be part of the college football playoffs, but it's a lot of movement through that 9 through 12 spot.
Yeah, you got a lot of movement here. Indiana today with an impressive win, right?
Yep.
And they were already behind 1, 2, 3 one-loss teams, right? So I'm thinking that maybe Cignetti's bunch maybe gets a bigger boost other than maybe moving 2 spots. I'm thinking they're in the top 5, maybe.
All right, week 2 of the CFP rankings comes your way on Tuesday night. Can't wait to see how these changes happen. So long for now.